There is a video by Thomistic titled "The Principle of Causality Demonstrated", which will be the topic of the current video. Instead of going through the whole issue of causality, the focus would be on key points.
Suppose you enter into a room and you see a new object. The first thing you will inquire about it is what Aristotle called its quiddity, that is, its whatness. The first thing we ask is, what is it? And as the blurry object comes into focus, we begin to realize what it is. This requires a preamble, though. To ask what a thing is, you first have to know that a thing is. This is the first object of our knowledge, but is not a priori known. We only know being through experiencing that a thing is.
Firstly, to ask what a thing is, we don't have to know that the thing is. This view of existentialism is not applicable on all sorts of things that are merely concepts, for a conceptual object is not existent in reality, but its properties are still discernible. We can still point a logical flaw in a fairy tale, or a myth, or a set of assertions without them ever being real in the universe we inhabit, because we understand their essence without their existence. The normative power of logic comes from the construction of mind, rather than that of the being, for the relation from being to normativity does not sufficiently explain the process of considering possibility of hypotheticals and normative derivations from them. Yet if one argues that even the existence of concepts is an existence and thus comes within the ambit of existentialism, it makes the existentialism similar as essentialism, for the essence of thought cannot be stripped from its existence, and there is no way to argue that one precedes the other.
Scott Sullivan organizes this into a more general statement. Premise 1, whatever gets its existence from another is caused. Premise 2, every possible gets existence from another. Every possible is caused.
The second objection is to the statement that every possible gets its existence from the other. Here we see the use of the word existence in phenomenological sense. The steam, while making tea, cannot be necessarily said to get its existence from the kettle or the fire, or the milk or the tea leaves, or the water or the wood. It exists, just in a different essence. The existence that comprises water just gets transformed into steam. The change is merely in essence or properties. The steam begins to exist only in the sense of a new phenomena, and not in the sense of a new material, and there is no addition to overall existence by the conversion of water to steam. Yet using it in phenomenological sense means that causality may be merely epistemological. To understand it, take two objects A and B. The nature of A determines all its actuality and potentiality, and so is true for B. If A and B interact, then nature necessarily directs the outcome, given the existent surroundings are fixed. Yet any conversion A brings to B can be said to be entirely of B's merit, and A's role is merely in supplying B with the requisite. That requisite is either a real feature of the world or a description of A's and B's association. If former, then causality is merely composite, and if latter, then causality is mere cumulative. In either case, it is not real.